EBI FM 103.1, a programme of music and chat from our Irish community. Our Scottish community will be along in just a few seconds. But today, mostly sunny, a maximum of 20 at 16 degrees in Byron Place. Sun protection's recommended until 20 to 3. The UV index predicted to reach 5, which is moderate. Wednesday, mostly sunny, 13 and 19, a shower or two Thursday, 11 and 17, Friday, a shower or two, 10 and 16. Saturday, a possible shower, 8 and 17, Sunday, sunny, 9 and 21, and Monday, September the 7th, partly cloudy, 13 and 24. Time now, 12:30.
Fescama agus falcher an o Radio Alpanach Australia Jesse Coig EBI in 93.1 FM digitach EBI World News Ruhig an line as Misha Renich Nick Carey. Good afternoon and welcome to Scottish Radio Hour here at 5EBI 103.1 FM or Digital EBI World. My name is Rachel Hay and a special welcome to anyone listening from further afield with our streaming service at www.5ebi.com.au. Kimada Hashev and Jew. How are you today? As always, I'm going to start with This Week in Animal News. Agus chlarch camera Rob Jolovan je carabanan grenia an yere alpa. Chai na carabanan a hanan shorse an an kunnerst nach wees nas loga ach na meel carabanan je esk as an Afric gach bliana. A robot camera called Shark Cam has taken pictures of basking sharks off the west coast after they migrated for summer from waters in West Africa. Basking sharks are the second largest fish species in the world, second only to whale sharks, and can grow to more than 10 metres long. Shark Cam followed 3 sharks around the coasts of Cole and Tiree, monitoring them from a distance and recording behaviour that suggests they arrived to breed rather than to feed. Ha Shark Cam violenten 3 carabanan, mun gurst colwa agus tiri agus a cumulastid gus an do yulanach a chlarich. A deir na luchiolis, hanig na 3 carabanan gus lanavan hogel, chadaniget gus bi aying. Gehavasjach, feiche carabanan grenia, nan snav fasger mullach na mara, agus na biol mora ga foskeltje gus bahar canna a glachig, sna helen and an ear. Sharks and feeding might not be words you like to hear in the same sentence, but basking sharks are usually seen swimming close to the surface of the sea in the Hebrides, with their large mouths open to catch plankton. However, last year's footage from Shark Cam showed scientists that the sharks actually spend more time just above the seabed, not feeding. So Dr. Suzanne Henderson from Scottish National Heritage said they haven't actually managed to film the sharks flirting or mating on camera, and they've still learnt more about them. Chai na caraban na chlárig an uri an nan sná fasge lá na mare. Hurst siúsí na chandrag gun de jiln sich het mór an get nach deach na caraban an as de chlárig a Syria. Biet da snav fasge an lá fat na smá na vashin an biach. Agus an béal dúnte arsi, agus hashin glei shinach. The fact that the sharks spend much more time swimming just above the seabed than we previously thought with their mouths closed is really interesting, Dr. Henderson said, particularly as the species is often seen as a pelagic or near-surface filter-feeding shark. Staying in the sea, and earlier this week a storm caused a fish farm in Kintyre to blow away. Hanige and Bar gunjach mú lechéad míle bratan Tjeche a céidechen ag tuachan as éisc a bhrís achca ran an cinn tíre an teachchan se chai. Bhásich deach ríchet míle éasc agus chai milliga dhéana ver ceir déine deich céidechen. Galibh an tuachan as éisc gan an caradel a tua rang an an drochíide. It seems strange to speak the sentence, a fish farm blew away in bad weather, but that's exactly what happened when Storm Ellen hit Scotland. 30,000 salmon escaped when 4 cages were damaged, and 50,000 died. The farm was owned by the company Maui, who said that a diver had inspected the cages and said that the ropes tying the cages to which had more than 500,000 salmon in them, to anchors on the seafloor were to blame, and that the ropes would be inspected further. Sawn leis a company Maui a hae, agus íon siad gon de heal scrúda go raon diverin go ré mar a bhrís rápanan a bheith a cheangal an tuachanis ans na rá cór is coig céad míle bratan riachgran a grúnd a buchórach. Thuirstic gon chéad tuiag scrúda a dhéana a bheith na rápanan. Thuirst buan Jean na háraneach go bhfuil drágare mun bhuai a bheith seo stoch an dúchasach go bhráting, leis gom further an tiesc as an tuachan as crón a dhéanamh ora le bhí a bríd a glóa. The Environmental Protection Agency has said that it is concerned about the impact this will have on native salmon populations, because the farmed salmon could harm the populations by interbreeding. While we are satisfied that the cages have been returned to the correct location, and that no significant pollution has taken place, said a spokesperson, we are in discussions with Maui and the Scottish Marine Agency who handle such situations. Getáis an riarach gon deach na céideach na hidiach an áte cheart, is nach deach troileach mór a géanamh as an neach lawarst. A hasin a córa grí Maui agus a brian buan mar in a halpa, a bhfuil blastan as suíoch íon mar seo a láisiach. Ach, an troch nach de gerecht sin tjere met cheer, no, an jea met an cheer hirem an ish. Brein mi a mis a chai me in marski and spray vies gan toggles na helen in an ear. Well, hacherit. We're moving from sea to land now, and last month I talked about the livestock markets, which would be held in the Western Isles. Well, they've happened now, so I'm sure you're all keen to hear the details, especially as it's about the time of year for the Royal Agricultural and Horticultural Show here in Adelaide, which hasn't been able to go ahead. Or maybe it's just me that actually goes to that to see the animals. Anyway, the livestock fair in Lewis was apparently a success, with sale prices of around £8 per animal and up to £70 for a lamb, which is higher than last year. Ba crátear an leois agus na héirigh a déanamh garteachas de chéan, agus a chéadéil réich an bliana a téan gon ceann na prísin an áirste mu 8 náitachin gach beich san áirsinneach. Ba sin gama an áirste iad na prísin a bheanna rudi, agus be 10 nátar tréichet de frís a báirte a ché a féig grúnan thursan ech an éil an stiorna bheith son uan. Chai an éile chumul haris da lá agus réaltan teann gon cúr an sasri lín a virus. The market was held over 2 days with strict rules due to COVID-19. But strict coronavirus rules have been good news for Scotland's annual Tree of the Year competition, which saw twice as many nominations as usual this year. Ur an farapis cref na bliana da éilte de hagrian na vies gan curigus deach go havesteach. An bé an farapis go chur dóile oras chailte na halpa, agus asked Carol Evans an stúricha gon de horst lockdown buai Va orla dúrasach gan é dan gemacrev agus an scéalach gacha arsi. Carol Evans, the director of Woodland Trust Scotland, which runs the competition, says she believes lockdown is responsible for the increase in nominations, and said there was a common theme to a lot of the trees in their stories of tenacity and hanging on against the odds. Everyone has taken solace from the nature on their doorstep, and it has been quite moving to see so many trees that became places to escape, gyms and classrooms. Ha hula dunya solace a gavel as an kuchnada riach gan tehe, agus ha jimachig bhí adam na scéalach gan a lévig. ha emigref yn is na ha se safalchas, ha yn súntas agus siomrach yn tegysg. Ha coig gref yn is noch gyger list o garech, agus jefach gref fwag mor dwys, je mil yn noltichyn a fies a chosgar súntas na greve, sanasan, nio súwachish ounce of chorishnach. 5 contender trees have been announced in a shortlist, and the tree which wins the public vote will receive a care package worth £1,000, which can be spent on works to benefit the tree's health, signage around it, or a community celebration. If you want to vote, go to woodlandtrust.org.uk/trees, trees, woods and wildlife /British trees /tree of the year /Scotland. And I mentioned last week that I'm predictable. I've been told I'm predictable for playing Runrig every week, but really, we've just had a story about trees. So here's Runrig with Anul Asarja, the highest apple on the tree. That was Olapanach playing Farewell to St Kilda on their CD, The Whistle Binkies. And you can hardly find a song more appropriate for this week, which saw the 90th anniversary of the evacuation of the residents of St Kilda on Saturday. By ceann bliana uairbist a hirscht ann an seachcin, a céad bliana ach déig ann de sathúne seochaí fan na galamh na hirschtech an elinachge. Ach am sin ann an 1950 chará ach trúis fir an ach déig deach na boranach agus trúch lein déig a fudach ar an ellen, agus bhaid te séire cuddechaí eich yn rialchas scas go rá et a gáil drag nach burin raibh geawr ielle a chur seachat ar an ellen. The population by the time of the evacuation had dropped to just 13 men, 10 women and 13 children, and they had requested help leaving because they were concerned about spending another winter isolated for 9 months from the rest of the world. The population had been declining for several centuries, having numbered around 180 before a smallpox outbreak in 1727 reduced the number of people on the island to just 42. Va arf na déine an ellen lútachig vi chean líonsin an uair sin. Va fascéir dá chéad hiirsteach an rá cúis na bríche an na méle seachcéad fichet sa seach, agus is dé sin choráach dá réine dá ichet acal. Díiste dá ichet. Hánig cara lucht tunneachí gan ellen an gan ellen as na herig an na méle seachcéad trí fichet sa céir. A bheit céad agus an na méle seachcéad trí fichet sa céir bheit céad ach deach sa chúnta sóie agus gan na háirh an feisce céadna pat líon as dé sin. By 1764, a number of settlers from Skye and Harris had boosted the number on the census to 90, and the number stood steady at around 100 for nearly a century, when a visitor in 1841 counted 105 people. Just a decade after that, 36 St Kildans came to Australia, and the population stayed in the low 70s until the 1920s, when deaths and more migrations dropped the number to just 43 in 1927. An méan a méle ach chéad of lín hánig ficethiirsteach sa siadéig ag Australia, agus chad a rás airh na hiirsteach nas airstein a chéir fichet chun na fichet an san lín se chaí. Chará ach trí trúis dá ichet ar an ellen an na méle na chéad fichet sa seach, ach hachar a chunta sléie a fagil méhérig an na méle na chéad sa hunjéig. Ba triplatin go leor ann leis chofate fálamh sa ha an eilin as sa bhór siar, agus leis nach rábáti an éasachach a dul gan eile ast, nuair a hachar a chúntas ann sa bháist. The most recent census for St Kilda actually dates to 1911 and was fraught with difficulties because the census took place in late March, some time before fishing boats from the Western Isles began to pass by it for the summer. Eventually, the Navy stepped in to help with the census, and a ship arrived at the islands in mid-April and took the census for St Kilda nearly 3 weeks after the rest of Scotland. Va ech an cálach ricúideach mí ar a cáil, agus rug bát a cháilach ar an eilin ann sa ghiplan gus chunta slí a dhéanamh ar na hiirsteach trí seachcain as dé do chunta sa ché seacha down an alp a hain. Cúideach chará dochtaran jo lé an ag na hiirsteach, agus as déag do cara duine chuchlag le leontin a bhíag mí vasavóir éad a bhó hir, scríb lucht an ellen nach chungeach an rialchas, gus cúideach fágal aing. They were also very far from medical care, even after a nurse was stationed on the island in the early 20th century, and after several deaths which would have been preventable with better access to medical care, Nurse Barclay and the resident missionary and teacher Dougal Munro supported the islanders to write a petition to the government to help them leave, fearing that it would be impossible to stay another winter. Well, that might all sound like it happened in the dim and distant past, but recently the National Records of Scotland split the country into almost 7,000 smaller areas and analysed their population shifts. Ha others clari an na halapa it means grúda géanamh na bhór I guess an an 6 míle scír an bhecha. A réir na háir an achcha, ha buag as fóe G réinechig agus is coirsneach gan ounce na helanan agus an dúich an níir. Well, se sin an scale of history of own nach é. Rural and island communities in the west of Scotland, the office discovered, were the most affected by depopulation and by ageing population. Now, I don't know if it was related to that story or to the next one, but I've seen a lot of stuff online about this issue over the last week. Scríb VBC an seachcan scéalach húndach a bhfuil oi sonrach dean an dachi an Albanach. Ha oi fór cétan de chestian a bhí ann fó daine alman sasing, go bhfuil oi ann an dachi a réaltach. Han tres cwch de chestian a bhí alluch cealnach a sasing. The BBC ran a story titled Pandemic Driving Exceptional Interest in Scottish Homes in a very cheerful light. Basically, there's been a lot of interest, hundreds of inquiries from England and even Hong Kong in homes for sale in Highlands, Islands and Arran, with 1/3 of all inquiries for house viewings coming from buyers from England. Ken McEwen, from an Edinburgh-based soliciting firm, said, "In my 30-plus years in the property market, I have never seen the market so buoyant with so much pent-up demand and so many buyers acting irrationally, with offers way above the home report value for properties in the most desirable areas. English buyers are outbidding many Scottish buyers." Ars Conich McEwen, a bíon le an an Dunedin, chanach mi riamh a lehet jearta sounds of Arigi. Ha emigneach ceannach a júlan gu mi réisanta, agus éit san a curas deach jearta san, fat na sáirste na luch nan teichen. Ha luch ceannach sasanich jearta san na smóa nan neach ceannach albanach a churas deach. Ac yn ein awm, hwrst che ha mór yn oi bhí ann an teian na seo, sa réaltoch fod daine an jazz a chrích. Ha daine a géirí rúm a mach dorsan. Similarly, Bernadette Walker from the Highland Solicitors Property Centre said there's been a lot of south of border interest in places up here, so there have been a lot of people looking for outdoor space. So the BBC, typically enough, is telling us that all this is a good thing, but the impression I've been getting from locals of the areas on social media is less than favourable. That's hardly surprising. Most people my age, I'm in my 20s, and even up to their 30s have resigned ourselves to probably never being able to own a home. Get a ha VBC seo a jalavig mai jo rut, agus surin rom dat politere gyda sin ha mi cínseach. Chanel mi biach sin aing fo dynias na sgeirinot, a ha na mean an solte. Agus chafór yn yngantas, ha fys gylior ag dynig yn ys a hagam nach beag corum rhywf aching tair chiawnach lyn hain. Hada, ach do rhain oge y reiltoch ha barach na ninsyn na djerich cha fi tair rhywflum. Sa giplan, agus ha mi cínseach gwn bi cainach y der yn rant o gaf mi yn o'r sin, hanig amach mi'n sgrwydach a gra gwn bi galig maraf mar can and corisneach ke ciawnjach bliana. For young people in the Highlands and Islands, living in communities which a study in April warned will die out as cultural and linguistic communities before the end of the decade, the ability to stay in your home area, rent a house and find work is crucial, and not being able to do that because of English retirees overbidding the market is crushing. In that case, it's not just young people not being able to buy homes, it is spelling the end of a community and of a culture and a language. Mar sin hai cho chudraach sa gabhas gon bé choramach duine ága bhí fodach ans na chorisneach nach héin, gus taimhhalig agus cúteábra chaing, agus mar sin chaneala acha chur bás na chorisneach gan nuair a bhís luch lail an cúteábrach a sasanach a tíing luch legal an cúteábrach gab na leiscail sasanach a tíing gan scéire gus tais lain a cheannach. Nach beag tú a samainechaig, nam beag réaltas na halape som tach a horst galig, gan beat a chur stachter sin, an áte pís an arstichi a skrívig. Wouldn't you think that if the government of Scotland was indeed wanting to support Gaelic and keep it alive as a community language, that they would be putting a stop to this sort of flooding of the market of rural homes with English pensioners, rather than writing pieces supporting that? But anyway, a chanil mi sy'n garan cws, rhain mi sy'n fychil mis nir agos chadrain sy'n dat agos charo mi a Jane of Keel. Agos ma fys y iachga dan yn biach gela. Fiing a molig rich piece of scrif marcus donlach her Facebook and toch of la fichiet. I'm not going to rant any further. I did that a few months ago on air and it didn't do any good and I just made a fool of myself. But if you're interested in hearing another opinion on this matter, I do recommend you go and read a piece which Marcus MacDonald wrote on Facebook on the 28th. It's a public post, so hopefully you'll be able to find it. And if you don't, there's always plenty of memes which the Daily Gale have been putting out over the last week on a topic. Anyway, here's Ian McIver and John Murray singing Tai Mahenna, my grandfather's house, on their CD, New Tradition, Arcanan Sarciol, our language and our music.
Cheswick spine, his body counting a bit of bubble. Big burden head and was like the stalking through his house. Big kind of again last time when up. As Jay blown the bar, chinley shape and neck no more. Big and bottle plastic pea back in Jenna. That get on moon and work, reach the mark and drag on sewers. Says get for and more better packaged. I call the lion positions, a mission pass an arm. And sail the passes, luggers, spouch more to such get line. And you have some for one of some auto counts and right. Not yard and fast got what they mohena. Stapel kann ich mir nicht schauen. Ach, Weiber, man schnell geht mit Piano. Ich immer eben Tag, habe raus und Nacht. Recht mir Hülle kann, holt mein Head. Da ist Jack von da, ich gab nur deren Spall. Es wo ja gehen, ich jag på min kasse. Ich kann dann gorn sammen klår. Be touching it around somebody. I'd go on the lion positions and the ship was an hour. Some sail the passes, luggers, bunch and more to such get line. And you have to follow on some auto counts and right. Not yard and fast got what they such get line. And you hold up on one of some auto counts and right. Not yard and fast got what they might have. Oh, not yard and fast got what they might
Our sponsors, the Scottish Banner newspaper. The Scottish Banner is Australia's national Scottish newspaper, available each month with news from Scotland and the Australian Scottish community. Get your copy at newsagents or by subscribing at www.scottishbanner.com. For a good Scottish read, get the Banner.
Ha sifagés jochriú radio Alpanach Australia Jessica coig EBI 93.1 FM digital EBI World News 3 online. You're listening to Celtic Radio Hour on 5 EBI 103.1 FM, digital EBI World or now streaming online. I'm program choir sonnaíoch fa alapa agus von popul alapanach a Shaw and in Australia jes agus a huladoich. This program is for those interested in all things relating to Scotland and the Scottish diaspora here in Australia. Nam beag tolif bal radio a vies chanelach jech dolagach bliana, agus veeg shiv ga kudjach a gajerif, kadafon go maire, dek nyoni keher in 3 shach da coig 3 shach. If you would like to help us stay on air, you can become a member for just $10 a year. To find out more or to get an application form, please ring Margot on 0413 722 537. Those long-time listeners might have recognised the voice of Jim Hay on the banner promo I just played, and it is my sad duty to inform you that he passed away on Sunday night. A Scottish Radio committee member and presenter for so long that those of us left haven't yet been able to work out when he joined. He was a regular fixture of Scottish Radio and of 5EBI for many years, presenting alongside Des Ross and also working as a continuity presenter and operator behind the scenes at the station. I credit Jim as being the reason you're hearing my voice on your radios right now too. I was only 7 or 8 the first time I can remember him suggesting to me that I make a guest appearance on Scottish Radio. And of course his active involvement is the reason I had enough interest to train as a presenter when I was a teenager. As I always tell the people around here who notice that we share our surname, I don't think we're related, but we might as well be. Aside from Scottish Radio, Jim was the branch convener of Clan Hay in South Australia for most of my childhood. Perhaps Jim's greatest contribution to Scottish Radio, aside from the hours and hours of content he presented for you, is the suggestion which he made at the 25th anniversary party to make Eric Bogle the radio patron. He then approached Eric Bogle, who accepted. So here's Margot's choice of song for today. In Jim's memory is Eric Bogle's One Small Life on his CD, Singing the Spirit Home. And quite appropriate, as Jim said to me before he died, and before coronavirus, that he wanted to go back to Scotland one last time, which he never got to do.
The trees are all turning to the rhythm of the season. The golden leaves are dying, and as I watch them fall, I'm wondering if my life has any rhyme or reason. For if living has no meaning, it makes no sense at all. And though it's only autumn, I can feel the breath of winter burning deep inside with a cold dark flame. My thoughts all tumble round, sweet, sad and bitter, for I know I'll never see the spring again. One small heart in its own time beating, one small voice singing to infinity, one small life so precious and so fleeting, one small house of eternity. The trees are all turning to the rhythm of the seasons. The golden leaves are dying, and I'm thinking as they fall, maybe one small life needs no other reason than the pain and the joy and the wonder of it all. One small heart in its own time beating, one small voice singing to infinity, one so precious and so fleeting, one small pause of eternity.
Hi, this is John Thornton, just butting in a little bit into Rachel's programme with a few memories of Jim Hay. Memories of Jim are of a contented man, happy with life. His voice remained warm and strong right up to the end, and his honest richness of personality warmed everyone he touched. Jim's concerns were never for himself, and he was one of the truly selfless people I have ever met. I spoke to him by telephone in the last weeks of his life, but the last time I physically spent time with him was on the 25th of January, when we had a Burns night at our home. Jim was not in good health at the time, but delighted and eager to come along with Frida and enjoy all the laughter and chat that a Burns celebration brings. He stayed with us on the night far later than we thought he would have been able to manage, and before he left he told us that the evening had been wonderful for him, because it had been so good to see Frida smile and laugh again. For me, Jim explained himself in that comment far more than anything anyone else could say about him. Jim Hay was a gentleman, always concerned about the feelings of others and determined to offend no one. His strength was found in the ability to keep those around him happy and in his making sure that the path ahead was free of obstacles that might trip up others. He had an aversion to causing conflict, and his whole life was spent in the way that anyone could admire, and everyone should. His love for Frida and his deep interest in all things Scottish were what made Jim the man he was. He was the kind of loving personality that is seldom found but cherished and missed long after the person has left us. He judged no one, complained about no one, unnecessarily criticised no one. Few could justifiably be given the accolade, but Jim Hay really was a loving and lovable gentleman. His absence in our lives will be felt by many, not only in Scottish radio but around Adelaide. But our hearts and thoughts are with Frida, who will miss him more than anyone. Rest in peace, Jim.
Cronies, one or two pals of mine, we went in a hotel, did very well, then we came out once again, and then we went into another, and that is the reason I'm through. We had 6 stuffing Dorises, then sang a chorus, just listen, I'll sing it to you. I belong to Glasgow, dear old Glasgow town, but there's something the matter with Glasgow, for it's going round and round. I'm only a common old working chap, as anyone can see, but when I get a couple of drinks on a Saturday, Glasgow belongs to me. Aye, and that's right. The man that's able to take a good drink.
That was I Belong to Glasgow there, in the memory of Jim Hay. It was one of his favourite songs. Jim's funeral will be held this coming Monday, the 7th of September, at 10:30 a.m. at the chapel on Finnis Street in Marion, previously called the St Anne's Chapel. There is a cap of 50 attendees, and no refreshments will be served afterwards due to coronavirus restrictions. I Belong to Glasgow also leads me into the next news story, because I don't often play songs in Scots on my programme, but Scots has been in the news this week. Agus carson, vacans bichmor, eln anish, mien wikipage, eln an alpanish, cananello alpa. Ha mi keen sich grofis akavsha, nach estich cor, nach rojo alpanish eln shin. Nach in kanspe ganse, mus de vrische, ma kanspe Consbach nuair a scéil carriage de chananach galig agus alpanis and post-dreaded agus esan a gra cimmer a hash on naiach. I first became aware of the Scots Wikipedia controversy very early on, before it had really broken as the controversy of the week, when a bilingual Gaelic Scots-speaking friend shared the initial Reddit post that set it off and captioned it, "How is this news?" Now, I knew that most of Scots Wikipedia was considered a bit of a joke, but I'd never actually looked at it properly. And I have to say, even I could tell that the state of most of the articles last week couldn't really be described as Scots. As early as 2008, Scots Wikipedia was described as convoluted at best and an absolute parody at worst, and in 2014 as like a bad transcription of a person with a Scottish accent. There are even calls by Wikipedia editors for the whole of Scots Wikipedia to be closed because it was mistaken as a practical joke. Chael leif mi articles yn byr Wikipedia alpanis chun yn jachan sa chai agus ai vai et jirach scrísel. Béla yn gyriraf gwn leitrich y ciarst agus docha ffacl nio ga san alpanis siwt sa sio agus ha dynia skegahrish agus droch har sgrifig a horst van hosich an da mil sa hoch. A chosig yn colmsbeth sio nuair a sgrif fer a fel oltach ger Reddit a gra gundura amach gund sgrif fer a van jekra Americanach a vor gutjen piece in Wikipedia alpanach. So this most recent saga began last Wednesday when a guy going by the username of Oltach posted on Reddit with the title, "I've just discovered that almost every single article on the Scots version of Wikipedia is written by the same person, an American teenager who can't speak Scots." He then described how he'd discovered this by looking at Wiki's metadata and explained how, on a wiki with just 60,000 articles, this single editor had written over 20,000 articles and made 200,000 edits, which is at least half of all content on Scots Wikipedia. It would be an incredible achievement, he said, if the person had actually spoken Scots. Now, I don't speak Scots, but I've grown up around people who do. I know a handful of words that are different from standard English, and I have a basic grasp of how the phonology and grammar differs from English. I don't speak Scots, but I'm fairly confident I'd be able to write a Wikipedia article in Scots to a better quality than this American teenager who has been. Scrifen fer sio barach 50,000 articlen agus 10,000 jesachian, a hal le yen Wikipedia alpanish. Veik sin miravelach nun ros met je alpanish echke. Haniel alpanish akamsa. Ach, chaim a hogel a mesk dynje, gevel alpanish, ha cor fachlan awn, a sanja rom fogarech agus grama alpanish. Haniel alpanish achgam, a chaim keenshach kan skriving heen pies na jaar na skriv en jegra American ach sio. Ach, a wel sio gejiffer. Okay, ha Wikipedia alpanish na pies skutel. Ach, an by dynje rief galevig cogi? Wel, B. Dynja vis som fjallgar again of alpanish, agus dynja ha an ugi alpanish, skrive en sjach in gedrain en versja, toyig smeel chanyan alpanish, na dynja som B. Ella, aun in jachgri. Does this make any difference? Scots Wikipedia was basically a write-off, sure, but no one ever read it, right? The problem is, people do read it. People who want to make a joke about Scots, and people who are arguing against Scots. It's been written many times this week that this person has possibly done more damage to the Scots language than anyone else in history. I have to say, though, that the person in question, who goes by the screen name Amaryllis Gardner, has apologised profusely and said he thought he was doing a good thing. I was only a 12-year-old kid when I started, he said, and sometimes when you start something young, you can't see that the habit you've developed is unhealthy and unhelpful as you get older. So, Jay Hacharanish. Wel, sa chiad dolamach, ha ekelon awn gundanach sio triplet fi fiag Wikipedia. So what will happen now? Well, in the first place, this has revealed what might be a systematic problem with Wikipedia. Anyone can edit it, which means that in cases where a minority language is similar to a larger language, it's easy for non-speakers to make edits. Suring do dynnu sy'n bi jesach yn again of age Wikipedia agus nuair a bhís mín chanan awn ha go mac holach rí canan mór ha curm fudus da awn do droch jesach yn mar sio a dhéanamh. Mar a siemplir, Creole a ha ging a sio an in Australia ha go mac holach rí béla agus go trich bíloch na béla a creid sin gofeléach a hig sin. Ach ha grama agus faclan go ma et a galachte. Awn. Na'n be gwy acet, bwryn rich pys yn ysgrifig Wikipedia Creole, agus mar sin bi dernia yn biach nach e ffyr chanan a hawn in Creole. Take Creole in Australia as another example. An English-based Creole, English speakers often think they can understand it because it's similar, but the grammar and vocabulary are very different to English. Nevertheless, if you wanted to, you could probably write or edit in Creole Wikipedia enough to make people think that it isn't a real language. There is good news for the Scots language, though, as a result of this. Over the weekend, the people of the Scots Lead Discord server, along with Wikimedia UK, did a massive edit, and many of the articles have been fixed and improved and rewritten in actual Scots. It's hoped that this whole drama will cause Wikipedia to be a rallying point for speakers and supporters of Scots. Ag deireadh na seachne, Rhain dernia frialige alpanesh mor jesachig, agus ha imig article a charig an ish. Han hadachast an ish an gumbeag Wikipedia nish am mea an a chanin, agus gumbeag loch larisht hain an ish geskrivig. Bishop Jeshel some postella an ish hamiasmanichig. It's about time for another tune, so here's Ian Hardy with Schoolroom Pipers from his CD A Breath of Fresh Airs.
Step it out with a cheer and a shout while we're marching through the heather. Sing a song, keep it strong, though the way may be long.
Bonny boat like a bird on the wing, onward the sailors cry. Carry the lad that's born to be king over the sea to sky. Though the waves leap, soft shall ye sleep. Oceans are royal bed, rocked in the deep. Flora will keep watch by your weary head. Speed, bonny boat, like a bird on the wing, on the sailors cry. nor could wield. When the night came, silently lay dead on Culloden's field. Speed, bonny boat, like a bird on the wing, on the sailors cry. Carry the lad that's born to be king over the sea to sky.
Kenneth McKellar singing Sky Boat Song there, and I barely need to tell you that, but we have time for one last piece of news before I finish the programme. The Isle of Skye got its own flag this week. Uren Ellen Skienach Brachtach an Shachkinachai a jalaf le Callum Alistair Roach, neu blian a reish. Hai gyrym le Crown Casey Bia agus Ciarcal Gial, Colachri Brachtach an Toyn iawn yn doi, agus ha Berlin Bata Fia Mulach. Ha coig rafen vata, ha riech na coig parstin yen Ellen. The new flag was designed by a 9-year-old boy and is blue with a yellow cross, a bit like the Swedish flag, with a white circle to make it look like a Celtic cross and a Berlin in the top left corner. That's a sort of wooden boat which was used around the island's coast in the Middle Ages. It has 5 oars which represent the 5 areas on Skye. And that's all we have time for on today's programme. So, acum an eistri da sinne manish van o Radio Alpanach, Australia Jess, Coig EBI, and 93.1 FM. That's all we have time for today on Scottish Radio Hour at 5EBI 103.1 FM. So it's goodbye from me, Rachel Hay, Cheery and Drasta agus Sorry Liv, Chishan Shivanach Yachking, Ach Chafalavi, Statier son o Radio Erenach, Ek le Uish. Scottish Radio Hour will be back at the same time next week, and of course don't forget Celtic Radio Hour at 5 p.m. on Saturday. In fact, why go anywhere now? Stick around and listen to our friends at Irish Radio Hour coming up shortly at 1:30. Until then, here's the Melbourne Scottish Fiddle Club and friends with a funky jig set.
Is not your average radio station. With you, our listeners, we form a community, your community. We're a not-for-profit organisation, and that means we have only one purpose: to give a voice to local ethnic communities. We think everyone deserves a chance to speak their mind in their language. If you've enjoyed our programs over the years and value what we do, when you're planning or changing your will, think of including us. A bequest to 5EBI will make a real difference for the future. It's the gift of a lifetime, the reassurance that your community stays strong and rich for years to come. It is your legacy. For more information, you can talk to our General Manager in complete confidence by calling 8211 7635 during office hours. Make a bequest to 5EBI. It will always be remembered.